Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're taking a plunge into the depths to explore the 10 most deadly fish creatures in the world.
Ooh, that sounds fascinating. Where are we getting our info from?
It's based on a great article I found on 10mosttoday.com.
Excellent source.
I figured it'd be right up our alley. Quick, fascinating, and maybe a little bit morbid.
I like where your head's at. I think it's so important to be aware of the potential dangers out there, especially in a place as vast and mysterious as the ocean.
Absolutely, you never know what might be lurking beneath the surface.
Exactly. And that's what makes this deep dive so intriguing.
So speaking of lurking, the article kicks off with a creature that's a master of disguise. The stonefish.
Oh yeah, the stonefish.
I mean, talk about blending in. This fish is practically invisible.
Seriously. They're found in the shallow waters of the Indo-Pacific, often camouflaged among rocks and coral. And get this, they have these venomous spines that are triggered when stepped on.
Oh, wow. So you could be walking in the water like completely clueless and bam.
Exactly. A dose of potentially fatal venom.
Okay, that is officially terrifying. It's like a booby trap on the ocean floor. What happens if you actually get stung by one?
Well, let's just say it's not pretty. The venom causes excruciating pain. And in some cases, it can even be fatal.
So, note to self, watch your step.
Always a good idea in the ocean.
Okay, so we've got the stonefish lurking on the ocean floor, but let's move on to another creature that uses camouflage to its advantage, the moray eel.
Oh yeah, the moray eel. With those sharp teeth, and I love how the article describes it, murderous jaws.
I know, right? They're not exactly the friendliest fish in the sea.
Definitely not. Those teeth are specifically designed for grasping and causing some serious wounds.
So if I'm diving, maybe I should avoid sticking my hand in any dark crevices.
Probably a wise idea. Moray eels are ambush predators.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they hide in reefs and rocks, just waiting to strike their prey.
That's crazy. Where do you usually find these stealthy hunters?
You might encounter them in shallow, subtropical, and tropical waters, particularly around reefs and rocky areas. Imagine diving in Egypt, Mexico, Belize, and those murderous jaws emerge from a crevice. Yikes.
Okay, officially adding moray eel encounter to my list of nightmare scenarios. Let's shift gears to a fish that's both beautiful and dangerous.
Let me guess, are we talking about the red lionfish?
You got it. Those zebra-like stripes are incredible.
So striking. The article says they have these unusually long fin spines in its dorsum and huge pectoral fins. And of course, that specific pattern of striking zebra-like stripes.
It's like they're dressed to kill, literally.
Right. And speaking of deadly, those beautiful fins actually pack a venomous punch.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. While not usually fatal to humans, a sting from a red lionfish can cause some intense pain, breathing difficulties, even nausea.
So they're basically saying, admire my beauty, but don't get too close.
Got it. You might see these guys if you're diving in the warm Caribbean waters, but admire from a distance. Okay, now let's move on to a creature that has a pretty notorious reputation, the piranha. I feel like Hollywood has really played up their image as these ferocious flesh eaters.
Yeah, I think everyone pictures a feeding frenzy when they hear the word piranha.
Exactly. But is there any truth to that?
Well, they are known for their sharp teeth and incredibly powerful bite.
I bet.
They can exert a force that's 20 to 30 times their body weight, which is insane.
Wow. So is that image of a school of piranhas stripping a carcass clean in minutes, is that actually true?
Well, the article says they can crush one of the largest animals in just a couple of minutes.
Wow.
So it might be a bit of an exaggeration, but it definitely highlights their efficiency as predators.
Okay, maybe I'll skip the piranha tank at the aquarium. Now, the tigerfish has a name that just screams danger. Are they really that scary? Their name is definitely fitting. They have really distinguishable marks and lengthwise stripes that actually vary by species. But the most notable feature, those sharp teeth, which are visible even when their mouth is closed.
So they look ready to bite even when they're just chilling.
It's all about sending a clear message. Don't mess with me.
Makes sense. Okay, on to a creature that looks pretty harmless, even cute, the blowfish. They look so cuddly.
But looks can be deceiving. Blowfish contain tetrodotoxin. It's one of the most potent neurotoxins found in nature.
Seriously, they're poisonous.
And it's concentrated in their intestines, ovaries, liver, and even their skin.
So that cuteness is actually a deadly defense mechanism. That's wild. What exactly does this tetrodotoxin do?
Well, it blocks nerve signals in the body, leading to paralysis, weakness, and potentially even death.
Okay, definitely adding don't touch the blowfish to my list of ocean rules.
Good idea. You might encounter them in tropical waters around the world. Picture yourself diving in Indonesia, surrounded by coral reefs and colorful fish, and suddenly you spot a cute little blowfish. Remember what we talked about?
And swim in the opposite direction. Got it. Now let's talk about the ocean's most infamous predator, the great white shark.
Ah, the king of the ocean. They have a powerful bite and an incredible sense of smell and electroreception. They're apex predators, for sure.
We've all seen those dramatic slow-motion shots of great whites breaching the water in movies. Is that really how they hunt, though?
Not really. Hollywood likes to take some creative liberties. Great whites are much more strategic in their hunting. They'll deliver one powerful bite, and then they retreat to assess the situation before going in for the kill.
So they're not constantly in a feeding frenzy.
Nope. They're more calculated and efficient than that, and that initial bite, super powerful. It can cause some serious damage to organs and tissue. That's why they're considered so dangerous.
So if I'm ever diving around Neptune Island in Australia or Tiger Beach in the Bahamas, I'm in their territory. It's best to admire from a safe distance.
Definitely. Respecting their space is crucial for both our safety and theirs.
Now let's move on to a creature that's a little bit creepy, the kangaroo. It's sometimes called the vampire fish because it's a bloodsucker.
Right. It's a parasitic fish that lives in the Amazon River. They're pretty small and scaleless. And they have this unsettling habit of attaching themselves to larger fish and feeding on their blood.
Okay, that's already pretty freaky. But I've heard stories about them attacking humans, too. Is that true?
There are some unconfirmed reports of kangaroo entering the human body through the urethra. It's a pretty horrifying thought. And while there's no scientific evidence to support these claims, it's definitely added to their fearsome reputation.
So if you're swimming in the Amazon, watch where you pee?
Always good advice.
Yeah.
Last but not least, let's talk about a creature that's literally shocking the electric eel.
Oh yeah, these guys are fascinating. I read they can generate incredibly powerful electric charges.
Up to 650 volts.
Wait, 650 volts? That's more than 5 times the voltage of a standard US wall socket.
It's enough to stun prey, deter predators, and even knock a human off their feet. They're like living batteries.
So probably not a good idea to go swimming with one.
Probably not. They're a powerful reminder that nature has equipped creatures with some truly amazing defenses.
And that sometimes the most unassuming creatures can pack the biggest punch. Wow, we've covered some pretty incredible creatures. It's really fascinating to see how these fish have evolved to survive in their environments.
Absolutely. It's a testament to the power of natural selection.
Like, take the stonefish, for instance.
Oh yeah, that camouflage is amazing.
It's not just a cool trick, you know. It's crucial for their survival.
Absolutely. And then you've got the moray eel just lurking in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike.
Totally. And the red lionfish.
Oh, don't forget about the red lionfish.
With those incredible spines.
So flamboyant. They're basically saying, look, but don't touch.
Exactly. And then you've got the piranhas working together like a well-oiled machine.
Their coordinated attacks are insane.
It's a good reminder that there's strength in numbers, right?
Absolutely. But then on the flip side, you've got creatures like the blowfish and the electric eel.
Yeah, they're more like solo artists.
Exactly. They rely on their own unique defenses.
The blowfish with its tetrodotoxin and the electric eel with that crazy voltage.
It's amazing how diverse these adaptations are.
It really is. It speaks to the incredible power of evolution. I mean, think about it. These creatures have developed these unique traits over millions of years.
And it's all in response to the specific challenges of their environments.
That's so cool. It's a good reminder that we share the planet with some truly remarkable creatures, don't you think?
Absolutely. And we have a responsibility to protect them.
Speaking of protection, what about the kangaroo? I mean, it's not the most pleasant creature, but it plays an important role in its ecosystem, right?
It's true. The kangaroo might not be winning any beauty contests, but it's part of the delicate balance of the Amazon.
Right. It's all connected.
And that connection extends beyond the Amazon, of course. The health of our oceans and all the creatures that live there is directly impacted by our actions.
You mean like what we do on land?
Exactly. Pollution, overfishing, climate change, it all has a ripple effect.
So it's not just about avoiding these deadly creatures when we're swimming or diving. We have a responsibility to make responsible choices every day.
You got it. We need to be mindful of our impact on the environment. We need to create a sustainable future for all creatures, big and small, dangerous and harmless.
Well said. It sounds like this deep dive isn't just about exploring these amazing creatures, but also about understanding our place in the ecosystem and what we can do to protect it.
I think that's a great takeaway. We're not just observers, we're participants.
And we have the power to make a difference.
Now, thinking back on all the creatures we talked about, is there anything that really stood out to you?
I think it's amazing how Hollywood has shaped our perception of some of these creatures.
Oh, absolutely. Like the great white shark, for example.
They're often portrayed as these mindless killing machines.
But, as we discussed, they're actually incredibly intelligent and strategic hunters.
It's a good reminder to not believe everything you see in the movies.
For sure. It's important to do your own research and form your own opinions.
I like that. So we've talked about the dangers of these creatures, their amazing adaptations, and our responsibility to protect them. But what's the key takeaway for our listener?
Well, I think it comes down to a few key things. First, knowledge is power. The more we understand about these creatures, their behaviors, and their environments, the better equipped we are to stay safe and make informed decisions.
Right. So it's not about being afraid, it's about being aware.
Exactly. Second, respect is essential. We have to remember that these creatures are part of a delicate ecosystem.
And that we need to treat them with respect for their sake and ours.
Absolutely. And finally, action is essential. We all have a role to play in protecting our oceans and the creatures that call them home.
Whether it's making sustainable choices in our daily lives or supporting organizations dedicated to ocean conservation, we can all make a difference.
Well said.
Now, thinking back on all the creatures we discussed, what really stuck with you?
I think the diversity of their defenses was just mind-blowing.
Yeah.
From camouflage to venom to electricity, it's incredible how these creatures have evolved to protect themselves.
I agree. What about you? Anything that really stood out?
Honestly, the kangaroo. It just goes to show that even the smallest creatures can have a big impact, and that nature is full of surprises.
That's for sure. Both beautiful and terrifying. Well, it sounds like we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have. It's been a fascinating journey into the depths of the ocean.
And hopefully our listener has come away with a sense of wonder, a newfound respect for the ocean, and maybe even a desire to learn more.
Absolutely. The more we learn, the better equipped we are to protect this incredible planet.
As we wrap up our deep dive into these deadly fish creatures, it makes you wonder what other hidden dangers might be out there.
Right. I mean, we've only scratched the surface when it comes to the ocean.
Totally. It's so vast and mysterious. Who knows what's lurking down there?
Well, scientists are discovering new species all the time. It's a world of constant exploration.
An endless discovery.
Definitely. It's a good reminder that there's always more to learn.
So as we wrap things up, what's one key takeaway you hope our listener will remember?
I'd say it's the importance of respecting the power of nature.
That's a good one. These creatures aren't villains or monsters or anything.
They're survivors.
They've evolved these amazing defenses over millions of years to thrive in their environments. It's incredible.
It really is. And I think it's our responsibility to understand and appreciate that.
Yeah. Whether we're diving in tropical waters or just making choices in our everyday lives, we need to be mindful of our impact on the ocean.
Absolutely. It's all about finding that balance between appreciation and caution.
Yeah. Right. We can admire the beauty of these creatures while also recognizing their potential danger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we can use that knowledge to make informed decisions.
So to our listeners, if you're planning any underwater adventures anytime soon,
Do your research.
be aware of your surrounding.
And above all, respect the power of the ocean.
Well said. It's a world full of wonder, but it's also a world that demands our respect.
Couldn't agree more.
And who knows, maybe one day you'll have your own close encounter with one of these incredible creatures.
Just remember what we've talked about today.
And keep a safe distance.
Until next time.
Keep exploring.
Keep learning.
And keep diving deep into the fascinating world around us.